And there we go. Hey, good morning, good evening, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. My name is DEWP Kieran, DEWP. I am the server's local soundboard. I make funny noises with my mouth. Sometimes I make it go hee hee, and sometimes I make it go ugh. Hopefully, it's more so the former than the latter this time. But today I'm going to be playing probably, you probably know who I'm going to be playing. It's either a three-headed bird or a bird in a wheelchair who's kind of a jerk. It's going to be the jerk today. Love is blind. Um, Flying Day today. And he's here because of another very silly man who has not been doing his best to take care of himself. Hey, silly man, would you like to introduce yourself and your player?
Oh dear. Hi, I'm Whis. I'm playing Chifley Forde today. Who's yeah. Well, he's holding up his end of a promise. It's fine. It's fine.
Sure do hope that's fine. We'll find out if it's fine. Um, yeah. Well, I will ask my third player to just wait a little bit, and we can introduce you when the time comes, my dear. But for now,
I'm just the Greek chorus back here.
just sitting here drinking your Coors Light and having a chill time. Love you very much.
Cheers.
Clink. Anyhow, to give people listening a little bit of just in case this is your first time listening to this, basically, Chifley has been suffering for months with little migraines and some head brain issues that he hasn't had checked out because he was busy doing other things that were more important than his health. Lau found out, and Lau smacked him on the back of the head and told him, go the hell to a doctor, or I'm going to, and I quote, get out of this chair, shove you in it, and push you there myself. And so Chifley agreed. And
And the thought of which does still make me and Chifley just wheeze quietly. Not because it's a silly thought of Lau getting out of his wheelchair, but because Lau was threatening Chifley and our stress response was to just laugh at it.
I shake my hand at this boy. Okay, so you got a referral from the ECCR, and they referred you to a doctor, and they did take a look, and then they were like, okay, we need to refer you to someone else, and they signed a piece of paper, gave you another address, give them a call, look up this person, you called this person, and you went to this person, and they looked at you about 5 minutes, and they wrote you a note and said, call this person. You went to another person, they saw you for about 2 minutes. No, you're gonna have to go here. You need like a specialist. And you went down the list of specialist, until it got so special to the point that it just, no matter which specialist you went to, they just didn't seem to have the special expertise to deal with this specific problem. You have no idea why, but they just took one look at you and said, no, we can't help you. I'm sorry. It's a, no, mm-mm. But it's gotten to the point that basically Lau has just gone, for fuck's sake, okay, if they're actually fucking you around like this, I'm just gonna go and look. And he went and looked for someone else.
And I'm just going to roll Chifley a con save in the meantime, see how he's doing.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a very good
Okay,
idea.
that's a 13. He has no modifiers to his con, so it's a 13.
Okay.
So he's not doing
13.
too bad. I mean, he's tired.
Yeah.
It's been a day.
It has been a whole day. It's probably like evening at this point, and I'm just gonna say Lau has come to pick you up and say, right, I found someone I think is going to be able to help. I don't know, but they're better than nothing, and I told them of your problem, and they seemed interested at least, so, and he's just gonna again take you out of your house and take you there, and I'm gonna roll survival for him because he's the one that knows where he's going. Survival. And I keep going to roll in the gallery, and I've got dice.
Clicky clacks.
Well, clackety clacks. Although mine are like stone rocks, so I cannot clackety clack. Yeah, no, ignore that. Actually, no, No, ignore that. I rolled the wrong thing. It's not that. I'm so sorry.
Dang.
I keep forgetting. Um, God damn it. I'm very sorry. I keep forgetting the thing I need to do. It's a 13 plus 6. I got a 19. 19, now knows where he's going. This is a good start. This is an excellent start. Okay, so, make your way. You want to roll me a perception, Chifley?
Sure. What's your perception?
Because Lau is leading you through
5.
Toontown.
Alright, yep. Oh, okay. Sure, that's a nat 20.
Wonderful! Well,
Love that.
I suppose this makes sense considering you work for the ECCR and sometimes you need to know where else, like, to send other patients and stuff for referrals. And as you pass by some of these buildings, some that you have even walked into and asked about the referral, you realize, this is not somewhere that you recognize as having any kind of doctors or medical professionals at all. Like, you don't even know if there's a pharmacy down this area of Toontown, as Lau keeps leading you deeper and deeper and deeper into this little kind of niche urban environment. And as you walk along, it starts to get slightly less vibrant, but also it's less bright colours and more contrasting colours of Toontown. It's less bright boom spark and more grind dark gritty, as it were. Al doesn't seem bothered by this. He's perfectly fine. Making his way downtown, rolling fast, and not slowing down in the slightest. Actually, we'll look over his shoulder at you a couple times just to check how you are and call out, Are you walking all right, Chifley? I know you have been feeling a little, well, shit. And he just gestures up and down. If you actually do need to use my chair, I will physically push you. Or if you need to lean on my chair, please just do it. I don't want to have to drag your body through the streets. It's suspicious enough as it is in this area.
I'm doing all right. Thank you. You're a lot faster than I thought, though.
Lau's just gonna... Don't type in dice faster. Don't type in dice faster.
The muscle memory.
Memory is in me. That's it.
Resist.
That's good though. It's a 24 for insight. You can tell, yeah, you're not doing so hot. So he's just gonna... Alright, I'll slow down a little bit, just... And he reaches a hand up, taps the handle and says, come along, hold on to that, and I'll go at your pace then.
Sorry, I know it's been a long day. Thank you.
If you apologise one more time, I'm going to smack your hand. And he makes his way very slowly at Chifley's pace up to a door. And this door is actually, this is a fun, interesting thing. He makes his way not to a door, but to a set of stairs going down. He looks down, he looks at Chifley, and he's just gonna sigh and gesture for Chifley to go first. There is a guardrail you can hang on to, so it shouldn't be an issue, but he's just, you should probably go first, just in case I can't actually, he looks at his chair. Well, I can get down, you know I can get down, but just probably best if you go first.
Chifley's just gonna nod, and he rolled a 13 on his con for today. He's not super great, but he's not dreadful. So he is going to make his way down the stairs, but he's going to be holding onto that handrail because he's like, the last thing I really need is to fall down and crack my head open. Easy as that will make things for looking inside. It's not on his list of things to do today.
Yeah, that's fair. As you make your way down the stairs, Chifley, it wasn't exactly a sunny day today. It was a little overcast, some sunspots for the most part, but cloudy. As you descend down, somehow it's like with every step, the actual atmosphere around you gets darker and darker and darker until you're at the bottom of this stairwell, and suddenly it's like it's midnight. It feels like you are in the middle of the night. It's like 2 a.m. in the morning, and you're alone in the middle of the street. You don't know, it's just the vibe that you get. And
Chifley's just standing at the bottom of the stairs going, oh boy. And he's like trying to listen to the background music of the area, see if it's like, you know, that ominous sort of woo kind of when you're in a really dangerous place. And he's just like, what have I walked into? Jeez. But he's just going to sort of look back up the stairs to see how Lau's doing.
Well, fun thing. Lau has basically put his right hand, hovered it over the right arm of his wheelchair, clenched fist, lifted it up, sprung his fingers out, and I don't remember if Chifley has seen this before, but you're going to see the spokes of his chair rattle, 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 and the wooden spokes of his chair whip out onto the floor, and they're no longer wood, they're vines. And they act very much like spidery, octopusy kind of deal, like almost spidery octopus scuttling. And basically, this is a lovely attachment to the chair that lets him use spider climb for 2 hours of a day. So he just scuttles down the stairs with those. And then he's just gonna look at you and gesture at the door. I will say he hasn't come all the way down the stairs because the area you're in is kind of small. It's very cramped. Again, it's just like a small front porch for one person to stand.
Yeah, fair enough.
Through to this door.
Side note, I can confirm Chifley has never seen Lau do that before, and he is distinctly impressed.
Gosh, we can get to that later.
Yeah.
Right now, this is about getting Chifley inside. I was just going to gesture towards the door. Cock his head at Chifley, like, well, go on, this is your appointment. I'm just here for, quote-unquote, moral support. He definitely does finger quote that.
Jiff is gonna sort of look at the door and then look back at Lau and then look back at the door, and you could just sort of see him sigh more than hear it. And then he'll go over and he'll give it a small knock and then try the handle. He's not sure whether or not this is an apartment, like someone's house, or whether or not there's like a lobby or something on the inside. So he's like, I'll just try both.
Well, funny you should say that. Would my wonderful third player like to introduce themselves and their character and tell me, how would you react to this all of a sudden?
Oh, okay. Hi, my name's Breaks. Please make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, good! I love that!
Excellent.
Oh, okay, sweet. That's actually really, really good. That's a dirty 20.
Okay. And for Lau?
Oh, for Lau as well. Okay, fine. That's good. Let's do this. Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh no!
Yeah, he's got no dex mod. None. 3 for people listening.
It does have spider climb, so you know what? I think probably what happens is as the patio below you falls away, you know, just kind of like trapdoor just goes flook. Spider climb. That spider climb is probably still active, right?
Oh yeah, no. As long as the vines are still out, spider climb's active.
Excellent. So, Chifley, you managed to hold on to those vines as well. As the trapdoor thunks down below you. And then, after like a moment, how are you guys liking that, by the way?
Lau is just fucking sitting there, having a process, and then he just looks up, stares at the door, and just... It's gonna be one of these fucking things then, okay? This is Toontown, this is just how it works, they're toons, this is how they work. He's just fucking... There's the look of just complete, oh, this is what the day's gonna be, oh fucking Kate. Look at his face.
Chiff was already on edge, and now he's just holding on. He's like, what? He cannot process words at this point. He's just focusing on using his noodly little twink arms to hold on. That's where all of his attention is set to.
There's a voice that comes up from below you, down in this dark tunnel that the trapdoor goes down. And says, well, you coming down or what? Hello? I swear to God, if it's those trick-or-treaters again.
Lau is just Firstly, Lau is just gonna try and help Chifley up first so that you're not in the threat of fucking falling in the pit. And then he's gonna look down the hole. Actually, no, you know what? He gets an idea. And then he looks at Chifley. And he gives Chifley a soft little smirk and he says, Chifley, would you mind? And he just points to the back of his chair. Hop on very quickly. I just want to try something.
Okay. And he's gonna scoot around and do so.
Cool. What's my modifier? I don't think I have one for this. No? Stealth time, let's go. Lau's
okay.
gonna fucking very quietly as he can scuttle down the trap door. Fantastic. Fantastic. He goes to scuttle down the door. Hey Breaks. This might be a weird question. Would you say that Doc would have greased the tunnel down?
Probably.
Fantastic. Cool. Now takes one step, very confident. Second step, incredibly confident. Most of the legs are still out. He puts another couple steps in, and then he's like, wait, no, shit. And by the time he tries to pull himself out, it's too late. Too late. Legs just... And down they go. Slide time.
Yep. Oh. It's... You know that scene in like Emperor's New Groove where Kronk and Yzma just go sliding down like a roller coaster?
Yes.
It's a bit like that. So after having had your your sense of direction thoroughly scrambled, you are put out into what looks like a typical dentist's lobby.
Oh, goody.
There's like a poster on the side that says "Brush your teeth." A very sad-looking tooth.
I'm gonna roll Chifley another con save.
Oh, Chifley, buddy, I'm so sorry.
Chifley, honey.
That was a 2.
Chifley, sweetie.
Oh,
Chip's not doing so great.
oh boy.
He's like just barely clinging to the back of Lau's chair.
Fucking hell.
And from through a door on the other side of the lobby, out slides the good doctor, red lab coat, goggles, mad scientist hair. Just slides on over with a clipboard. He's like, "Okay, welcome to my clinic. I'm renting it out from the local dentist. Let's see. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how maimed or hurt would you say you are from that trap?"
Quick question about that. Actually, a couple. Firstly, and Lau very shakily lifts a finger up. Firstly, did the trapdoor come with the rent, or was that installed recently?
Oh, my own recent installation. They allowed me to rent the door. I basically put the rest of this stuff down here.
Lau just nods and mutters, well, I hope the door's bloody cheap, and lifts a second finger up. Alright, for number 2, are we counting physical damage, or are we counting emotional and physical as well? Emotional and mental as well?
If you'd like to separate those two, by all means, I'll take notes on that as well.
Chifley's just dizzy. He's just...
Okay, I'm gonna put that down for a 10 for your friend there. And you?
If you just, he just reaches out and, like, makes a gesture to hand the clipboard over.
You want Doc to come closer?
Yes.
Yep, he obliges.
Cool. Lau reaches out for the clipboard.
Alright.
Lau takes the clipboard. He writes something. Fun little thing you will notice, Doc. Lau doesn't take the pen. He instead lifts up one of his fingers, starts to write on the clipboard with his finger, seemingly.
Okay.
Looks at what he's written, nods, hands it back to you.
Okay. Doc takes it, reads it, What's it say?
Oh, hey, what languages do you know, Doc?
Oh, let's find out. Let's see. Well, common, Grolix, deep speech, and undercommon.
Okay, you don't know what this says, but he did not circle anything. He's just
Hmm.
looking at you. Blank face.
Spicy. All right. Deposits clipboard in the hammer space. Claps hands together, rubs them together. All right. So, what can I do for you?
Well, my companion here just flicks his head over at Chifley, who is still incredibly woozy, has been having apparent issues with with their head, and he takes a mean look in Chifley's direction, a little of a glare, and he hasn't had it seen to for a little while. And by a little while, how long has it been, Chifley?
A few months, I guess.
Oh, so you've been letting it percolate. Ah, that's great. Always fun to see what comes of letting something like that sit for a while. Come on, come to the back. Unceremoniously, two, our metal tentacles come out of the backpack on the back. Grab Chifley, lift him up, and then just start sliding with him back through the door on the other side.
Okay, I have to do something. I have to do something with this quickly. Let me see. Let me roll for this. Yeah, that's fine. I thought as much. It's nothing but twos. Nothing but twos. It's my third two.
Twos. What was Lau trying to do?
Lau wasn't trying to do anything. His chair, however, they're also kind of tentacles, and they. Oh wait, more tentacle friends. And
Tentacle friends.
they try to reach forward and like poke at the other tentacles, but they're just like. And I was like, stop! And they just stick out in all directions. Do not touch tentacles that aren't yours. And the chair kind of slides down to the floor just a little, and then shuffles back up and says,
Aw.
"Yes, let's follow the doctor," he says in gritted beak. Make sure that Jiffy doesn't actually get dissected. And off he goes, following the doctor.
Oh dear.
Yep. There's a very convoluted set of hallways, and then opens a door into what just appears to be a normal, just sort of examination room. Sets Chifley unceremoniously down on the the little table that doctors have, and starts pulling things out of hammer space. Some very pointy looking sets of equipment. Starts throwing them in the corner. Like, okay, let's see how we could do. Oh, we could use this test. Oh, this little baby would be nice. Just assorted chainsaw, jackhammer noises as he sorts through his equipment.
Chifley is just sitting there. He's just sitting there now. He's like, oh boy.
Lau's just gonna follow in after. He's gonna give a side eye to the doctor and then just He's just gonna walk straight over to Chifley and just bend his head close and say, "Chifley, how are you feeling? Are you actually all right with this? I'll admit, I was rather clutching for straws considering how many doctors have deemed you something they couldn't. Needed a more special specialist, and I found the most special specialist I could find, and apparently they are a very particular kind of special specialist."
I'm a bit concerned, but is he even really I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, I bloody hope so, considering the last person recommended them to me. They came highly recommended for matters of the mind, but they wouldn't quite explain exactly why. Something very vague about pigs and trumpets and something to do with chocolate. I don't quite know. I couldn't quite pass it out. I think he said say, "No matter what happens, though, I'm not going to let whoever that is hurt you, alright? I'm not going to just sit by and let someone hurt you. Whether they are a doctor or not, I'm, I'm going to be here, alright?
You get this tired but very appreciative little smile from Chifley, and he just gives a little nod. Thank you. Oh.
Just reaches out and hesitates, and then just quickly pat your hand twice before backing away, looking away from you, and looking over at the doctor.
Mhm.
Um,
Chifley, you feel like a soft like suction like onto one side of your head, and then as I'm going to just say that we have the scene from the title card as the doctor is examining your head with a stethoscope, just kind of listening introspectively to various parts of your skull.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll a medicine. I'm gonna see
Okay.
if Lau knows what the hell you're doing.
Okay.
Now, I think the dice are bullying me today.
Oh.
Oh, that's a shame. But what is your medicine right now? Oh, it's better than it was. Well, that's a 12.
Well, that's not bad. Yeah, you do know that it's a stethoscope, what is typically used to listen to someone's heartbeat. Just being pressed up
Okay.
against Chifley's skull. Mm.
Lau's. I was just gonna side-eye Doc, and I'm not going to claim I'm a doctor or an expert. However, I have done some medicinal work in my time, and I'm almost certain that that isn't supposed to go on the head.
Well, usually no. And you should be happy to know that I'm not exactly hearing anything from inside your friend's skull here, which is a good sign. Because if I could, that'd be wild. Alright. It throws a stethoscope over into the side, and rummages, like, it gets like this helmet thing out of his hammer space. And it says, well, it's about the right size, and you don't have any antlers to contend with, so let's see. Just plops it right on Chifley's head.
Oh joy! Oh joy!
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. Okay, cool.
And in front of the helmet, a little holographic display pops up, and the doctor has like a little tool, like a little game console kind of thing, and he's a little vision of a brain pops up on this holographic screen.
Oh joy.
Yeah, and a bit like being able to just kind of like no clip through the brain, like Doc's like just piloting like this little camera through and taking a look around inside the brain. Now, would you like me to roll anything to see if like he can find the source of these migraines, or would
Well,
you just like to?
firstly, I'd like you to roll me a perception if you wouldn't mind.
I can do that.
It's technically a new area.
Okay.
This is not
Oh,
I mean, it's an area that it's a new area that Doc Matter has probably explored quite a few times in their history. You know, perhaps semi-recently, within the past year or so. But this specific one, maybe it's roll perception on.
This would be a 19 for his perception.
Lovely, jubbly, 19. Okay. So you have been inside the mind of the Antlered King. For those of you that don't know, that was a game. It was a wonderful game. Go listen to it. It's fantastic. But yeah, basically, Doc Matter and a few others perhaps entered the mind of the Antlered King. This is nothing like that. This is nothing like that. This is weird. This is strange even for you, Doc. You have, I don't know, has Doc Matter been in many other minds? I have to ask that. In this way.
He technically created the whole holographic helmet to take a peek inside folks' mind for Antler. So
Okay.
not in this sense, but he has been physically elbow deep in several people's brains. Yes.
Jesus.
That's fair and a good question to ask, and it's also nice for clarification. Thank you very much, Breaks.
No problem.
Is mine. He's It's very strange. For one, it's dark. It's very dark. You see strings kind of rolling around. They it's hard. It would be hard to see in the dark, but it's odd when your feet touch down. You hear a ding noise as you touch something, and it sounds like the pluck of some kind of string instrument as you touch down, and you see a quick burst of light before it fades away. Um, and you seem to just have many strings around you, perhaps, because as you try to move, you hear another ding, 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 as you try to move, and different colors flash.
Is anything physically happening to Chifley on the outside with these strings being
That's a good
plucked?
question. That's a good question. Hey, Chifley. You want to roll me a whiz save, please?
Alright, I can definitely do a whiz save. Let's see how this goes.
Whiz
Ah,
save.
yeah, no, Chip's fine. That's an 18 plus 7. That's 25. He's good.
Oh, dang, yeah.
Nice. Chifley, you feel a little weird, but you're not in any pain or anything. And Lau's just going to kind of lean forward and look at you and say, Chifley, are you all right? Is this hurting at all? Or do I need to... And he just reaches out a hand, and you get the impression, you know Lau's a cleric, and there is a spell that clerics know that goes by touch that can deal quite a bit of damage.
Yep, I'm familiar with that one. Chifley just sort of he moves his eyes over to look at Lau, and no, it's strange, but it doesn't hurt.
Okay, Lau just nods, slowly pulls his hand back, but it is kind of clenched at the ready if he needs to. And then we're gonna come back to you, Doc. Hey, yeah, that's a 19. I did say you heard the sound of guitar strings and lit up. What's the word? Lit up. Colors. That's the word. Sorry, brain went foggy. Yes, you're in
No,
a dark
that's
space.
Chifley's job this time.
I know. Chifley has given their fog to me very briefly, whilst you're inside their head. I hold the fog for now. But yeah, you got a 19. What do you want to do? It's a dark space. When you seemingly touch these strings that are underneath your feet, they make colors.
Do the strings seem to lead anywhere?
I mean, you can walk around and find out.
Yeah. Just gonna... I guess like this little... Now I just get like a vision of like... just like a little CGI Doc just kind of sliding around inside Chifley's brain. Just Doc like on the outside, just kind of like piloting him.
Nice.
All right.
Transparent
You're in the
blue
famous area.
wireframe.
Yep. Or we could bring back Pixel Doc.
Do you want to? You can. I'm not gonna stop
Right,
you.
Doc. Oh my gosh.
Bring it back, bring it
I'm
back,
not
bring it back.
entirely sure it's a good idea to be walking around on these things, so let's see. I'll just change my avatar here. 1 sec. And if my there we go. Yep, there we are.
Oh,
Pop. A little pixely fairy
Oh,
Doc avatar appears and starts flying around.
he's so
okay.
cute.
Give me a second.
All right.
Chifley, just a moment, because I
Okay.
need to roll something. Chifley, do you want to roll me a quick perception?
Sure. Oh dang, Chiff, you're doing really well. That's I'm not gonna do math. I can't do math. What is it? 21. Beauty.
Yeah, you see it. You definitely see Lau. He's trying to hide up. His eyes have grown a little wide, and he's glancing from the screen to Doc's back to the screen to Doc's back, and he looks like, what? Wait, hang on. Do you... There's like, there is thoughts going on in there, like, does this person secretly have wings? Is this, what? Excuse me, is this an expression of the inner self? What? I don't... He's just trying to understand what the fuck is going on here, because he has never seen a contraption like this. He doesn't know what the hell is going on, but he's trying very hard to hide that. Doc, you are fairy-fied. Congratulations, you are pixie boy. What would you like to do?
All right. This tiny little fairy cursor, Doc, is going to fly around and take a good look at like all the paths in the brain, see if this typical for this area. Is
I
there?
will say that as you lift up off the strings, they all go dark, and it goes dark around you, and it goes silent.
All right, I'm gonna do a little bit of an experiment here. Let's see. It flies over to like one specific string and just kind of plucks it gently. You feel anything from that?
Does he?
I don't know, Whis. Do you want to roll?
Another Whis
You want to
save?
roll? Mm-hmm. Or if you want, you can roll an insight check on yourself.
Well, they're the same. So that's
Well, do whatever.
that's a
Roll it.
17.
17.
17.
So you feel something, again, doesn't hurt, but you feel a weird kind of, not a memory, but it's strange. The string, first of all, lights up red, and Chifley, for some reason, you feel bring up like small flashes of memories of like every time someone has done something to make you just a little bit mad. Just a little bit. Even if it's just like small annoyances. From small annoyances to things that have made you want to blow out and just shout and scream at a person. It just briefly flash through your brain and you get a small flare of anger before it fades away. And as that anger fades away, Doc, the colour fades away with the string too.
Interesting. Alright, I'm gonna start following these strings, see if they lead anywhere.
Ooh.
So that's what he does. Just starts flying through the brain space.
Wonderful. Roll me an investigation, please.
Sure thing.
Meanwhile,
be
Lowry's
a-
again.
15.
Go ahead, Toby. 15. Okay. You're following along the string. I imagine you reach down every now and then to just point at it, like punk, just to make sure you're following the right string. Would you say that's something that would do?
Yep, probably just to keep track of it, see if it leads anywhere. Basically looking for if this is how Chifley's brain is laid out. If this is normal.
So, you do follow this string, and it goes on for a little while. You don't know how long. Time is kind of hard to tell in here, and you're also in a little bit of a gamer zone where time means nothing, and you are just leveling up, grind, leveling up, grind. Even if it is just
Doing the speedrunner strats.
Yes, I believe. What was it that happens in that game? No clipping through walls. Yeah.
Hey, if you check this out, if I hold this string like this and then I go like pluck it twice, I'll
Don't.
go flying.
Do not. This is someone's brain. Do not do that. Do not. I don't care how fast it will make you go if you do that. And Lau reaches up a hand threateningly.
Okay, fine. Spoils for it.
Spoil sport. I just don't want you to kill anyone today. That's not the goal. If you want to help, if you want to kill someone, then do it on another day. Yeah, you follow this. You follow this pretty well, and you end up this. It's funny because you pluck the string, and as you get further along, you see there are more strings that are thinner, but they seem to like either intertwine with this string and go off another direction, or they seem to sprout from this string and go off towards another string, and there's like weird reverberations. Would it be called? Yeah, reverberations. It's like ding 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 ding, and it echoes off into the distance. And Chifley, it's very strange for you. I won't make you roll anything. That anger, every time Doc plucks that string, you feel that anger again. But then it feels like you're getting more and more it feels weird. You're starting to probably zone out a little bit. Because there are lots of emotions coming up right now. You don't know why. you don't know why you're suddenly getting flushed, hot, and angry, but you are. But then you get other emotions too. You get sad, and then you get envy, and then you get happy, and then it's just a bit of an emotional mess going on right now. Not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Um,
Like, Chif is used to one of the spells that they developed at the ECCR, which allows the spellcaster to manipulate the emotions of the patients, but you have to be willing for that. And, like, he has not actually experienced that too much, because it's primarily used for toons who change colour based on their emotions for colour treatments at the ECCR. So he's familiar with that sort of thing. But this isn't a, okay, I'm going to make you happy for 20 minutes so I can take your happy colour drawer and then make you sad for 20 minutes. This is a, oh, I'm getting belted by, like, ping pong balls of different emotions from every direction. He's just like, oh,
Pretty much.
I'm dizzy.
You are basically juggling moods right now. You're basically a train track of emotions that keeps jumping tracks. It's like anger, happiness, sadness, envy, anger, happiness, sadness, anger, envy.
Yeah.
Like it's just that.
I'm just picturing him sort of like just twitching at the edge of the bed thing that he's sitting on, and he's just sort of like half pouring at it, half just fiddling with it as he's just his all his emotional centers are just going completely bonkers. It's like fireworks.
Gosh. I was just squinting at Chifley and just he's not taking his eyes off Chifley, but he is gonna say, look, so what exactly does that contraption do, and what exactly are you doing right now? Because from what I can see, you're just making Chifley very twitch.
Well, at the moment, I'm trying to find the source of this apparent entanglement.
Right.
Because,
okay.
I mean, I don't know if you've like seen this. Like he like points to like his little avatar inside the screen is like mimicking his movements while he's doing this. I don't know if you've seen this, but brain generally isn't supposed to be doing like this. Like he twangs the guitar chord again. Watches the lights. It's like a pinball machine in here.
Now furrow his brows and gives a very slow nod. He definitely knows what a pinball machine is. And he's just like, right, okay, well, you seem to have done this before at least. However, I don't know if plucking the cords and making Chifley twitch is going to be of any use.
Oh. Well, let's see what I can do about that. And he starts. He presses like pause on the controller, and it wants to see that maybe Chifley physically pauses.
Oh my gosh!
Like two little
You
bars
can't slow
disappear over
Chifley.
Chifley.
It's over, and he's just like, what the fuck did you do? What the fuck is this? And he's just gesturing with one hand. What the fuck have you just done? What is that?
I paused him. Just give me a second. And he like pulls out like an alchemist supplies and starts mixing something up.
Now it's just like, no. What the fuck do you mean you've paused him? Are you, what, a chromaturgist? Are you, like, do you study time? What the fuck is this? He's just...
Well, in my free time, I do.
I'm dying.
He's just fucking... I can't... He's just... God, he's just so fucking like...
Yeah, and then like Doc turns around and he pushes like a flask into Lau's hands, and then unpauses Chifley and pushes another flask into Chifley's. Takes up another flask himself and tinks it against theirs before downing it back. Well,
I'm gonna
drink up.
roll an investigation because Lau's not drinking some weird shit you've just given him. And the dice don't want me to know things today. That is an 8.
Ugh.
He doesn't know what the fuck this is.
It is a...
Sorry, that's not a plus 8, that's a 3.
I'm gonna roll an intelligence for Chifley, and I really hope it's low because that's funny to me.
Oh, I can't maths today.
Okay. That's 12.
A 12. Okay. Lau, you have a flask of hot amber liquid. It smells kind of herbally.
I'm so tempted. I need to roll a whiz save because, gosh, did you do this? No, you don't. Smart lad. He does not bring out a flask of vinegar to add to this. Because he doesn't know how it's going to react chemically. He wants to, but no, he's just going to squint at Doc and say, swirl it in the glass and say, so before I decide to chug this down, are you going to tell me what exactly this is going to do?
Oh, it helps calm emotions.
Squints. He's just, you know what? He would usually roll insight on this, but he's just so fucking. He's just already just fucking fine. He unclocks it and just tosses it back.
It's chamomile tea.
Oh wait, hang on. It's chamomile tea. Let me just roll something. Oh wow. Okay, this is where you get a nat 20. Okay, I see how it is. I can't believe you get nat 20 on a save that doesn't fucking matter. I hate you, man.
Congratulations, you have avoided the slightly soporific effects of chamomile tea.
Congratulations, you like the tea, Lau. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, Chip's gonna drink it. Chief will drink it. He's watched Doc and Lau drink it. So he's just okay. I'll drink it. Fine. I don't know what's going on. I imagine it was just this when he was paused. It's just this complete blank for a few seconds. Like, what did I miss? Oh, I've got something now. Okay, I'll just go with it. Chifley is so confused.
It's warm. It's comforting. Yeah. I'll say like the chamomile tea gives you like a +2 to like wisdom saves.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, it'll be for all of us because we all drank it.
Great.
Oh,
All right.
so wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. That should help with the feedback from this exploration. All right. Picks up the controller again. Actually, Lau. Wait, no, he never actually asked your name. Hey, you in the chair. Would you you want to join? Like he points at the controller.
Lau blinks and rolls his eyes. It's just, me in the chair would very much like to fucking know what they're doing first, but he does.
No, don't worry. I got an extra one. It's a bootleg. Don't worry. Takes out a slightly jankier looking controller, plugs it into the other side of Chifley's helmet, and hands it to Lau.
Can I make a very quick suggestion, Breaks?
Yes.
Can you take out a full leg with a boot attached first?
Yes.
Excellent. Initially pulls out a full leg with a boot. No, that's not it.
Wait a minute. Hang on. Push stuffs that back in. All right. There it is. Okay. Then plugs it in, hands it to you. A suitably pixely little Lau sprite pops up on the screen.
Lau is still looking at where you put that boot and leg away. And then he slowly turns towards the controller. And with visible regret, picks it up and looks at the screen. It's just...
Yeah, and there's like just like that awkward like 20 minutes where Doc is coaching Lau how to like use a controller.
I'm gonna roll. You want me to roll an intelligence check to see how?
Let's do this. Yeah, let's see how well it goes. How many times does Lau bump into the sides of Chifley's brain?
Well, apparently he's incredibly cautious because that's a 22.
Hey, yeah, you do really well.
Lau is determined not to break Chifley's brain any more than it may already be. And he is very intensely studying. It's like, you know when you get like that new thing to like info dive into? It's like that. He's hyper-focused and info learning this. And yeah, he becomes very proficient in video games for a bit. And bizarre. I have to add proficiency in video games to his fucking list of things!
Very nice.
Amazing.
Wonderful.
Anyhow, back in the game. Let's get back in the game. Let's get our heads in the game.
The game in the head.
Let's put the game in the head.
Alright,
Yes.
and the Doc points to one specific button is like, don't press that. Don't do it.
I won't.
All right, let's continue.
Okay, continue time. So traveling along the lines. I presume Lao appears just next to where Doc was, and I've got to roll a perception and for him. You're okay. I don't know why this is happening now, but yeah, okay. This is how it's gonna go. Lao has been in incredibly up and down mood apparently, because he's got a 22 on perception. Cool.
Nice.
Looks around, and he kind of narrows his eyes and cocks his head to the side, and he reaches down and just notices all of the notices all the strings light up. Looks towards Doc and says, I think you see, Doc, one of the curls on his head twitches, and his beak points in a particular direction of strings, and he tilts his head, narrows his eyes. I think we should probably go that way. And he heads off. And I'm just gonna roll something here. You can roll an insight if you'd like, Breaks. And Chifley, you can also roll that whiz save if you want.
Okay, I can definitely do that. There's an additional +2 to the whiz saves because the T.
Yeah.
Does that make? What does that make? That 9. God damn.
Ah.
God damn. Okay, Chiff is doing well. That's a 28.
Beautiful.
Excellent. And that's funny because I rolled this and
Nice.
2 19s. Breaks, did you want to roll a quick insight on Lao whilst they are traversing this mind?
No.
Excellent. Never mind. Don't worry about it. I will just say,
The doc is just kind of like following along, just kind of like, just like studying the insides of the brains, and like the little sprite pulls out a clipboard and starts taking notes, but he's paying absolutely very little mind to you, Lau, except to keep up with you.
he's valid. He's very valid. This guy is just, he's not a patient, whatever. But you do notice as Lao continues to follow these lines, more and more lines seem to intersect and crisscross. And they soon go from being one line to like 2 lines, to like 3, 4, 10, 16. There's a lot of colours and a lot of colours weaving together. And you do notice as you go forward, it seems to be like, it's odd. It seems to be kind of some sort of web-like material, almost. You're noticing patterns in how these things are forming.
Safe to say, I don't think it's a mind flare, but mind spider, something like that. Weird.
Lao, one of the curls on Lao's head twitches, and he calls over back. A mind flayer, then? You've dealt with those.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I've only heard about them. I've never actually been face to face with one. However, I've heard they can be a right pain in the ass to deal with, and quite frankly,
yeah,
I hope they don't
no
have to
idea.
deal with them.
They always forget when your birthday is. Like, if they get like a cake, then they eat all the cake. Even if it's like your birthday, you don't get a slice. Anyway,
that's-
bad coworkers.
Now
Continue.
pauses. Now pauses. And keeps on. And he's just going to call over his shoulder. Oh, that's fucking rude now, isn't it? As he makes his way further along. And yeah, you're getting, the threads and weaving of these strange threads, and they're just melding together. And eventually you get to a place where it's almost impossible to not plink a noise, as it were.
Plink.
But blink, 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 blink. Chifley, at this point, could you roll me a con save at disadvantage, please?
Oh, I would be delighted to do so.
Oh, fun.
Excellent.
Oh, that's a good start. That's great.
Oh, good. Wonderful cackling. 2.
Ah.
You have zoned the fuck out. You are drifting in a cloud and it feels very soft and very kind of delightful actually. It's not happy, it's not sad, it's not angry, it's just kind of a blissful nothing.
No thoughts, head
And
empty.
yeah, pretty much. And you hear a voice, Chifley, calling for you. One you probably recognize. You hear someone call, Chifley, Chifley, sweetie, come in. It's time for dinner. And Chifley, what do you do?
Um. Well, he does recognize that voice, and because he's so out of it, I guess he's gonna try and come in for dinner. He's gonna follow it.
You follow the voice and appears in front of you from one blink to the next is a door. It's your door. It's your old home door. You know this door well. Chifley, you reach down for the handle. You step through the door. And, Doc, you and Lau make it to what seems to be the center of these webs. And, immediately in front of you, you don't have to roll perception. Oh boy, that's a big old cocoon. That's a big old cocoon. That's a cocoon. Why is there a cocoon in here? Huh, that's weird. That's a little weird.
Doc's like flying the sprite around it, like taking like screen captures, like, oh, this looks like something that is going to be named after your friend.
Now looks now just looks over at Doc Matter and calls out, "So you haven't seen anything like this before, then?"
I guess perhaps he should do like a medicine check, or what would you say he should roll to see if he's seen this before?
So
Or
for this, you can roll a history or history or a medicine.
okay, let's go with
Whichever you think would be better. Yeah. So it would
okay.
be,
That is a 25.
Damn. Okay.
Got
Well,
19.
you don't know exactly if this is true, but you have read many, many texts about these things. You have read about theories about how these particular things work. Some people say they just kind of click to the ear and then they dissolve and become part of your brain, and then when you no longer need it, it just kind of comes out again and reforms, and you can hand it off to another person. It's very hygienic and everything like that. Don't worry, there's no shared brain juices or memories or anything like that. That's weird. Some people claim that the thing goes into your ear and then just bites onto your brain, but like very softly, like a hug, like a bitey hug. But some people have thought that this thing that you're looking at right now, some people have theorized that they do, in fact, spin cocoons in your head. And you think back. What's the name of that thing? What is it? And then ding! Ah, yes. This could be an earworm. Which, yeah. Which,
Well, bad news.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna be named after your friend. This I know what this is. Well, it's possibly. And then, goes over what an earworm is.
Wonderful. For people that don't know what an earworm is a fun, funky item from Eberron's, the Eberron kind of campaign. It's a thing that you can attach to the skin behind your ear, and then it bonds with your head. And whilst it's bonded, you can speak, read, and write deep speech, and cast a few spells. It's quite funky. It's very cool.
Watch me grabbing my Oberon book and looking it up straight away.
Yeah, so that's what you get from that. And now's gonna look over at you and furrow his brows and go, well, okay, fine. It's an earworm. And actually, I'm going to roll a history for Lau. See what you know. Ooh, okay. Look. Sorry, you may also be hearing my dogs having a long sippy in the background. They're both guzzling from the water bowl at the minute.
I
You're not
can hear
very
it.
quiet.
Mm,
You can.
yeah.
Oh,
was
Wish
wondering what
is
was
too
going on.
sippy. There you go. Good
23.
job, good. 23. As you explain what an earworm is, they just nod. Lau just nods his head. Yes, I'm familiar with what an earworm is. I didn't know they actually spun cocoons, but I suppose either way, it's been causing Chifley problems, so we need to get it out. So this is something that people need to attune to, though. And how did Chifley get attuned to this? He never mentioned that he got an earworm of any sort.
Well, I have some theories on that. These things can be passed on by like very catchy music. The like a song you just can't get out of your head.
Al's just gonna reach up very slowly and pinch the bridge of his beak and close his eyes, and I'm gonna roll a whiz save for him. Oh, that's beautiful! I don't care if you've got a +8, that's a nat 1.
Oh.
Hmm. He's just gonna clench his beak and he's just gonna. I know you think this is very much part of your job and it's very funny, haha. However, this person is one of my friends and I'd rather you not make fun of this. And gestures heavily at the giant cocoon that is lit up actually in a lot of bright colours and pretty swirls of seeming to be motion, I suppose, swirling around inside. So hey, you've got your target now. How do you want to approach this?
I suppose see how it's connected to the brain.
Well, I can tell you right now, you don't need to roll anything. There are a load of strings kind of just running throughout this thing.
Okay, so the guitar strings are coming from this thing.
The strings seem to be, yeah, they seem to be kind of stretching out. Actually, as you're looking at this thing, you do actually see a tiny little other thread kind of slowly weave out from the cocoon and seem to start to slink downwards before it disappears into the darkness.
What was that? He's going to go follow that thread because hey, it's new. It's forming. If he can see how these threads attach to the brain, they might give him a clue on how to get them unattached.
Cool. You follow it down. And you follow it down, 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 and Doc, you keep following this thing, but it just keeps going, and it just keeps going, and it just keeps going, and Lau's gonna call up after you. I don't know what you think following that thing's going to do. He's just fine. If you want to follow that, that's fine. You follow that. I'm actually going to do something, and Lau is going to pull out. Hey, by the way, I know we have avatars right now. Do we have manifestations of our weapons in here?
Oh yeah, sure.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's going to reach the side of his wheelchair, pull out his Everfrost dagger, and he is going to very carefully try and stick it to the cocoon and cut himself in. I'm gonna roll. Well, okay. Let's see how this goes in a second.
No, yeah.
Neat. Doc. Wonderful Doc. You follow this line down, and you can't see where it can. Actually, roll me. Roll me an insight.
An insight to see where it's going. Okay. That is a 16, which is excellent for him.
Yeah. So you see this thing wriggling along, and you can hear as you're going, like ding 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 ding, and this thing seems to twitch at that towards it, and you're like, oh, is it heading? Oh, it's heading towards more strings, and as you see it kind of wiggle over to other strings and try to weave itself and wind itself into other strings, you realize, oh, wait a second, huh? Is this like a way that the spider weaves their webs? Is this like a strengthening thing? Are they trying to cement are they trying to cement themselves even deeper into this brain perhaps? Or at least strengthen this particular tether? It's an idea.
Interesting. Um. Well, let's see. And looks around at like the squishy gray matter surrounding him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, do I want to use the ice or the fire?
Beautiful. We have some different methods. Absolutely beautiful.
Let's see.
Chip's off having tea with his mum, and these two are attacking his brain.
That's got the Chifley talking. Hey, yeah, Chifley.
Yeah.
You are having just a wonderful time. Whilst Doc Matter is trying to figure out how exactly to wreak havoc, Chifley, we're just having a nice cup of tea. You're sitting down at the mat with your mother, and she's smiling at you, and she's handing you more of her burnt dumplings. You still haven't gotten better, despite the fact that you have been seeing her more and more often now, and you've been having such nice chats, and gosh, you've been keeping her up to date with everything recently. You've been telling her how you've been feeling. You've been telling her how you feel about Missy, and how you feel about Dorian, and how you just everything that's happened. And through it all, she's just been smiling and supportive, and she's made you cookies, and she's given you hugs, and her cooking is awful. Her cooking is still awful. That's never going to improve. She makes a decent cup of tea, and she's listening ear, and she is always free and available for a hug, and she's warm, and she's soft, and she's lovely, and oh, Chifley, you really miss her. You really, really miss her. And she reaches over and does give you a hug now. Oh, sorry, give me just a moment. I'm really...
The dogs. There are dogs
Doggies.
barking at Doc's door. Bark, 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 bark.
Bark, 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 bark.
Chifley, there are dogs barking outside, and your mother seems to just not toss a hand, she tosses a look out of the window, and she says, I suppose that's the neighbor's dogs again. You know how they get sometimes. And she just nuzzles you in the side of your head, and just, well, it can't be helped sometimes, Chifley. Chifley, I hope you're doing okay, sweetie. And I don't know. Well, your mother seems to hesitate before continuing on, saying, I don't want to tell you this, Chifley. I really don't, sweetheart, but I'm a little worried about something.
Is it something I can help with?
She bites her lip and looks away and kind of starts to fiddle with one of the mugs of tea. It's just that, well, I'm scared that I don't think. Oh, I don't want to say it. And she lifts her hands up to her mouth, and you see her eyes start to draw in and water up a little bit, and she just shakes her head and looks away from you.
Chifley's just gonna reach her hand out and gently put it on her leg. It's like, I'm sure
She's gonna reach back. Oh, sorry.
No, I'm sure it's not that bad. We can figure it out.
She just, oh goodness, I've only just been able to get back to you and speak to you, Chifley. I don't want them to take me away from you again. And she reaches out with her left hand, she squeezes your hand and looks at you and says, Chifley, I think they're gonna take me away from you again. I miss you. I miss you. I miss your sister. I miss my husband, and I'm so scared. And she just reaches out her hand and links her fingers between yours and squeezes and says, "Don't let them. Chifley, please don't let them take me away."
God damn. Okay. Me, the player, is just going, oh, self-defense. Chifley, on the other hand. I should roll something for Chifley, shouldn't I?
That's about you go.
I'm gonna roll an insight. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna roll an insight.
Go ahead.
Oh, that's spectacularly bad, Chifley. 12.
Wonderful. Wonderful. You look at this. Your mother's crying, Chifley. She's scared. God, she's so scared, Chifley. I don't know if you've ever seen your mother like this before in your memory. I don't know if you ever have seen her before like this. I don't think you want to see her like this again.
He's gonna take a second, and then he's gonna stand up from the couch and just sort of lean in and pull her into a tight hug. I don't want you to go either. But who's they?
I'm really sorry. Give me just a second. I'm so...
Oh,
Bork, bork.
okay. It's time for a short break. Bork, bork.
I'm so sorry. My dog keeps, like... There's some blinds next to me, and they keep sitting and wagging their tail and making a ting 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 noise.
Ah, bless. Great.
Please, Bobby. They shouldn't get any more interruptions. It should be fine now.
Okay.
Right. So, Chifley reached out and hugged his mother.
Yep. It was a hug. I don't want you to go, but who is they?
She reaches back and she just encircles you and she hugs you, one arm around the back of your shoulders, and another creeps up your back and just presses one arm around your waist, and then she very carefully reaches over. She doesn't touch your back, and she just...
I was gonna say.
Yeah. She cups her hand behind your head and just gently draws that down and puts your face, just nestles it between her neck and her shoulder, and she leans her head on yours and she says, "Oh, Chifley, they're gonna take me away. They're gonna take me away, Chifley. I can't lose you again. Sweetie, I can't. They're already here, Chifley. I'm so scared."
Okay. All right. Chip's gonna hold her for a bit, and then he's gonna lean back and he's gonna put his hands on her cheeks and just sort of wipe the tears away with his thumbs. I'm not going to let anyone hurt you again. Okay? I'm sure we can figure this out.
She sniffs and she wipes her eye with her hand, the back of her hand. She lifts her other hand up and she cups the hand that's on her cheek. Chifley, she holds yours and she digs her fingers into the back of your hand and she just... I know, Chifley. And she gives you a soft, wobbly, wavering smile as she continues and says, "You're my boy, Chifley. You'll always be my boy, my son, my little sonata, okay?" And she leans her head into your hand. She briefly presses a kiss into your palm. And she breathes in and out and says, "Whatever happens next, okay? We do it together. Okay, sweetie?"
You know you don't have to push yourself.
Of course I have to push myself. You're my son, and I've just gotten your back, and I'm not I'm not losing you. I'm not losing this. And you see your mother go from very sad and weepy. She's still sad. She's still weepy. There is, as she opens her eyes very slowly and looks at you, Chifley, there is a fire in her eyes. She says, I will not let you go. And, flashback. Hey, Doc, what's your weapon of choice?
We're gonna go with the brain freeze.
Wonderful!
So,
Let's go, baby.
Doc, little sprite Doc rummages around in his backpack and pulls out a pixel fridge.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'll get the, let's see, Bridget, there she is, Bridget.
Bridget.
But pixel version. There we go. Alright, Bridget. I know this isn't how I usually use you, but I need you to, well, you know what? It might be a little more effective if we do this a little closer to the source. But we can start here. I need you to start freezing this. Just gestures to, like, the strings all over the place. So if let's see. Well, in this case, the strings would need to make a dexterity saving throw.
What? They're strings.
Okay.
Let's run together. Let me just. No, don't roll on the table. Don't crack. Also, because they're strings, I'm not gonna roll it. It's gonna be. That's me. Nice.
Oh.
That's a minus. That's a 1. That's a 1. You're gonna hit
Yep.
it. You're gonna hit it.
Okay.
You're gonna hit
I'm just gonna roll it here.
Hit
There
it.
we go. 13 ice damage as Bridget starts just hosing down these strings with this. Yep.
It goes down these strings, and immediately they just. They just crack, 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 and you see the minute you see the ice touch the strings, it just creeps like frost, and then like soft snow, and then like hard blocking ice as it zips up these strings. It actually zips up the string you were following, and starts to race up towards the cocoon.
All right, we're getting somewhere. Come on, Bridget. Starts flying up. Bridget just hops up on the string and starts up it.
Oh, cool. You're doing that? Oh, wait, hang on. You're doing it on the ice. That should be fine. I will say, as Frigid walks along, with every step, you just hear like a clink, 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 clink. As the ice starts to clinker, clatter, shatter, fall apart, and down into the abyss, the dark abyss of Chifley's head. Dark abyss of Chifley's himbo head. Anyhow, back to Lau. So that was a 13 to hit. Remind me, what's Chifley's armor class, by the way?
Chifley's armor class is 12.
Oh, okay. Let me just roll my damage. Oh, this is oh no! Oh no!
Oh, 22 damage.
Did you crit on the top of Chifley's brain?
I know how that was going on. I need to do this carefully to savage. Absolutely savage. And also, you know what's fun here? Doc, you went with the ice. Lau is using an Everfrost dagger. And he's
Whoa.
going to use some of those charges.
Oh.
So I do a d4. Well, I do 2d4. No, I do a d4 and then double it. And then 2d4 cold damage. Ooh, absolutely lovely. Okay, so let me roll. Firstly, the d4. And then max damage. That's 8 already. Wonderful. And then 2d4. 6. Okay. So 8 plus 6. That is 14 damage. Chifley! Chifley buddy!
Am I in pain now?
Roll roll me a con save with disadvantage.
Sure.
Because suddenly, the hand that is cupping your hand against your mother's cheek. The room's suddenly very cold, and you can see out of the corner of your eye that your house is starting to like freeze up.
So
You
So-
see frost and ice.
so that's a different disadvantage. One roll was a nat 20. The other roll was a 6.
Oh.
So, because it was a disadvantage, that's a 6. And I'm just looking at this
Oh.
nat 20 going, wow. Not the time. Thank you, Chifley Dice, but not the time.
I'm sorry, there's only one nat 20 in this SPS, and it's to hurt you.
Oh, God.
Hopefully, you feel a sudden piercing migraine, but it's weird. It's not in you, it's around you. You feel a pressure, and oh shit, that hurts.
Oh,
Oh
boy.
god, that hurts. Oh god, you're so cold. Why are you? Hell, are you so cold?
I think
I
he's
feel
gonna
like it's
straight up fall over.
Shit. Your mother is just gonna scream, Chifley! Chifley, what? No. No, 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 oh god, no! And she just reaches down and she pulls you up by your shoulder, and you didn't see this before, but she seems to pull out some kind of your vision is a little hazy, but that looks like kind of a whip, I think. And she grits her teeth and narrows her eyes and looks around, and she's just, I'm not letting them take you. I'm not letting them take me. I'm not letting anyone go anywhere near you, near me. We're meant to stay together. You're my son, and we're meant to stay together. Meanwhile, Lao has just ripped a pecking hole into this cocoon. And look, I would say this is probably about the time you get back to the top and follow the ice. Hey, you follow this line back, to the icy thread, to the cocoon. And Lao has just ripped a fucking gash in this thing, and you see that as the ice reaches the cocoon, it slowly starts to spread, but let me roll something quickly. Ooh, okay. It slowly starts to spread, but then it seems at some point to just, as the ice tries to creep up the rest of the cocoon, it starts to shudder and then slowly recede and creep back and flake off.
Huh. Alright, that
But-
looks like this one's gonna be a bit stubborn. Cracks like his knuckles through his sleeves and calls Bridget closer. I'm gonna fire a blast directly at the cocoon this time.
Wonderful!
Sounds
Hey,
like a
by the
cocoon.
way, you have noticed Lau has ripped a giant gash in this thing, and he looks over at you and calls out, Did you want something to hit? I've got a... And he just points at the cocoon hole and says, Now, I don't know what exactly is inside of this thing, so maybe we should not go full force, but I've made a decent way in. It seems to be quite a thick wall, and he very carefully just pokes the outside of it where, yeah, it's a decently thick wall. He's not all the way through this cocoon, but damn, that's a deep gash in it, and you can see, if you look over to examine it, there are threads very slowly trying to creep back together and link together, but it seems to be struggling.
Let me just set Bridget here to keep that under control. Bridget, just, try and get this thing disconnected from all of this. We're gonna go in and address the problem directly. And Bridget just gives like a little salute and starts starts just hosing down the threads wherever they're connected. So Bridget will remain out here and handle the threads that are trying to reform.
Beautiful. Wonderful. Now looks over to you and raises an eyebrow and says, So, what exactly have you been up to while I've been busy actually doing something?
Research.
Scott
Anyway.
rolls his eyes. Fucking research. We can't do research at a time like this. We've got something actually physically here to do. We can do research later.
All right. Well. This is starting to hurt my voice. Blah.
Eric, I pat you. I'm sorry, Breaks. I'm making you go quite a bit. If you need to take a sippy break, water break, please do.
There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna say the doc just kind of gestures to you to lead the way.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna make another fucking another attack roll. Let's do it.
Oh gosh.
Well. I suppose this is what you get, isn't it, mate? This is what you get. That's a whole 5. He tries once again to drive the knife in, but as he does, a thread whips out and squeezes his wrist, and I am going to have to roll. A whiz save. Oh, let's do this. Okay. Hey, could you very quickly tell me what's Chifley's DC for his bardic spells?
12.
12. Okay, interesting. Very fun. Let's just make that a that thing then. Okay, so this thing wraps around Lau's wrist and he tries to tug it away and it tugs him forward and he hears a strange kind of it's very out of key. It's oh man, it's dissonant, you could say. It's a discordant melody rummaging through his head, and I have to roll 3d6, and because I succeeded, I take half of it, so I take 5 damage. Wonderful. Al clutches his head and goes, fucking hell, is this shit, and he just tries to pull his hand away, but unfortunately he's trying to pull the hand away that is being gripped by the knife. Doesn't think to swap that knife to the other hand, and he calls out, "You doctor, get this thing off of me, this trying to fuck with me."
I think I can do something about that. Pulls out a ray gun from his hammer space, points it at you, points it at Lau.
Oh, lovely.
And pulls the trigger, and a ray envelops your little pixel avatar, and your avatar doubles in all dimensions. The doc has just cast enlarge on you.
Oh my fucking God.
Yep.
Oh my God.
You have advantage on
Well?
strength checks and strength saving throws. Your weapons also grow to match, and the weapons do an extra d4 damage.
Oh my God. Lau looks down at his arm, where the thread now looks like just a small piece of string attached, and the thread pauses, and you hear a as the thread begins to very subtly slide off and away, and Lau just grabs it, pulls it, it's just like, "You fucking don't, you little shit," and just throws it into the darkness, and you hear a as it fades away.
Very nice, very nice.
Now looks down at the doctor, looks at himself. He's now about half the size of this cocoon, and he's just, He's looking down at his hands and he's nodding, and there's a weird sort of grin on his face. He looks
The doc.
a little delighted by this, actually.
Yeah, the doc puts the ray gun away and takes out a clipboard and starts writing down notes. Interesting. The chair grew as well.
One thing, the chair is still with its little leggies as well.
Oh,
As you're writing down, one of the leggies lifts up and just waves at you as you're running down. Meanwhile, Al looks over to you, Doc, at what you're writing, and he scoffs and rolls his eyes and says, "Once again, you don't need to write anything down at the moment. We've got a job to do." And he gives a very big, very wide smirk, rolls his head, flexes his fingers, reaches his hands into the gap, and starts to pull.
Oh!
And he calls out over to Doc. "Now, I don't know what's going to be in there, but I think you're going to need. Oh, I think you're going to need to be prepared." And I'm gonna roll strength with advantage, would it be? Or would it
Yep.
be just advantage? Okay, cool.
Let's see. You have advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. So yes, you would have advantage on this.
Okay. I forgot I don't need to type this. Cool.
Okay, Whis will be back.
This will be back. Okay, that's that. Okay, so I got. Let me just check this. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. It's better than it could have been now, but that 20 would have been nice, but I'll take a 16.
Yeah.
So Lau flexes his fingers, reaches inside of this crevasse, this gash in the cocoon that it's made, and there are small little strings tied to grip to his fingers, but he smirks and says, "Not today, you little shits. I'm going to tear you fuckers apart." And he just gleefully drags this gash out and open, and Doc, you hear a discordant. It's kind of an awful fucking sound, not gonna lie. But Lau is basically tearing into this cocoon, and Chifley, a friend,
Yeah.
wonderful Chifley, you're being gripped by your mother, who has a whip. She has a whip. And
That's really
someone
weird.
your-
Just straight up. It's like, wait, what?
And your heart is incredibly cold. Your dumplings are cold. Your tea's cold. Why the hell are you so bloody cold? And your mother is holding you. She's holding you tightly, protectively, but still very gently. And she says, "I'm not going to let anybody hurt us, Chifley. I'm not going to let anybody take me away from you. I'm not letting anyone take you away from me. You're my son, and I love you, and no one is taking you away from me."
Chif's he's shaking a little bit because it's cold. But he's like he just sort of reach a hand around to give her a what he hopes is a comforting pat. It's fine, Mom. We can. I'm okay. What's happening? Where did that come from? And he's just sort of looking at the whip.
"Don't worry about that, sweetheart. It's fine. I'll look after you. I'm your mom. I'm your mommy, okay? I'll look after you. I'll protect you." And as she says that, you hear a as a front door busts down. And it's like mist and ice and smoke start to seep in. And hey, Breaks, tell me, how would Doc make their entrance?
Oh. Well, you see, the thing you need to know about being an evil mad scientist is presentation.
Could you do me
So,
a favor?
Mhm.
Could you describe what you're gonna do and then roll me a performance?
okay. So, in the smoke and the mist and the ice that is seeping in from this battered front door, a shape is suddenly seen, a multi-limbed shape, as a thunk and a thunk, a metallic clang as this thing suspended on two long tentacle-like limbs enters in, and in drifts the Doc, just suspended on like the two things, his two tentacle arms, and in one hand he's got the ray gun that he used on Lau, and on the other one he has a similar ray gun, though it is a bright cherry red, and the end is smoking a little bit. So he takes stock of the situation, goggles, taking in this domestic comfort scene, and he's like, "Well, this is boring as hell."
Beautiful breaks. Please roll me a performance with advantage. Please.
Ah, Doc Matter, you're the best.
Matters here, and they're here to fuck around and find out.
Does not think much of Chifley's childhood home.
That would be a 15 for the performance.
Oh, bloody
15. All right. That's decently good. You know what? The smoke and light effects, and let's say smoke and light effects. I meant the icy mist and the frost creeping across the floor. Really cast an intimidating figure there. Doc, you certainly made an entrance, and you certainly made an impression on this woman as she quickly stands in front of Chifley, stands up and holds this whip, and grits her teeth and glares at you, and points a finger out and says, "I don't know who you are, and I don't know what you want, but you leave me and my son alone." And she just raises the whip up threateningly. She doesn't use it. She's on guard, but she's not gonna use it. Just yet.
Doc, like the tentacles lower him back down to the floor, and the tentacles reach into like the hammer space and pull out a clipboard and a pen. And Doc's like, "Hi. So, could you rate on a scale from 1 to 10 the amount of physical or mental maiming that you received from that entrance?"
This woman is gonna just blink, blink, blink. The whip lowers very slightly, and she says,
Where let me clarify. 1 is very little physical or mentally, and 10 is like the maximum. Go ahead.
woman is just gonna blink. 10. No.
Oh,
12. Put me down
12?
to 12.
12? Okay, 12. All right. Okay. Do you have any feedback, maybe some pointers as to how that could be made more traumatic?
She just goes, opens up, strains her shoulders, shuffles more so in front of Chifley, who I presume is at the moment propped up against the table, very cold.
Yeah, he's kind of just sort of looking, and it's like so confused. He's like, wait, hang on. He's like got that loading thing spinning. It's just like, hang on, this doesn't make sense.
Oh, I see. That was a nat 20. What was that about?
Yeah, I wonder. So this woman lowers her whip, still in hand, glares at you, tilts her head to the side, and then a little smirk appears on her face as she says, "Oh, I see. You're that hack doctor, aren't you? You know, the one with the, let's see." She taps a finger to her chin. "You've got, how many PhDs was it in villainy? In, the evil sciences and such. You have certainly been around dark matter, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave. This isn't something you need to deal with. I'm here for my son. You don't need to be here."
Well, it's mad scientist, thank you. Let's see. It continues just writing this all down. Okay. Let's see. Well, that's not exactly how I could make it more traumatic. Okay, patient is resorting to ad hominem attacks.
Gosh. You do hear, coming from the doorway outside, "Doc, are you
What?
taking fucking notes again?" Put down the fucking clipboard and get the earworm.
Fine. Yeah. So, takes the ray gun with the smoking red end and uses that to cast Scorching Ray.
Oh, roll to hit.
Okay, so that is 3 rays. Okay, so all 3 of them are going to be heading towards this lovely earworm lady.
Oh,
Okay.
lovely. Go ahead.
I'm gonna have to do this. Let's see.
I feel like Chifley should be doing something, but he's just stunned at this point.
Chifley doesn't know what's happening.
No.
Chifley's just here.
So,
Man.
for the audience at home, that's an 11, a 13, and an 8.
Well, fun, okay. One of those hits. The other 2 go wide. You basically pew, pew, and you basically blast a hole in the back wall, and then you blast a hole in the right wall, and maybe, man, I think your gun's like twitching weirdly. It's like dunk, 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 before you have to like fix it.
Yeah, like he's like like after that, like he just kind of like smacks it with the like the wrist. I'm gonna have to recalibrate that. Okay, puts it away. But he'll roll the damage for the one that did hit, and that
Absolutely,
is
go ahead.
6.
So I will say, Chifley, you were suddenly very cold. Oh, 9, wonderful. Hey, Chifley, take 9 damage for me, please.
Ouch. Okay.
Yeah. You suddenly feel incredibly hot, Chifley. You were cold just a second ago, and now you're really hot. You know, you don't feel like you feel like you're burning up, but you're burning up from the inside, but also from the outside. Like, gosh, this room was freezing, but now it's on fire. What the hell is going? Why is your brain? Why does your head hurt so fucking much? God, you can't remember why. Where are you? Why are you here? What's going on?
He's just gonna grab at both sides of his head and just kind of go into the fetal position.
Oh, I'm so sorry, buddy. I'm
Aw.
so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, man.
And this woman freezes and looks back at Chifley and rushes to his side and puts her hands on both your shoulders, Chifley, and again just, oh, sweetie, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Oh, sweetheart, are you okay? And she, again, just sort of cuddles your head into her neck, and she side-eyes you, Doc, and glares and says, well, there was no need for that. You did not need to do that. You did not need to do that.
Like the doc looks up from the clipboard. It's like, what?
No. I believe at this point, would it be safe to say the enlarge spell has kind of come off of Lao?
It's up to 1 minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say, for the sake of convenience, Lao has shrank down again, and he's coming through the door. He is kind of sadly looking at his hands, like as he comes through, but he shakes his head, comes in, looks at the scene, looks around. There's ice everywhere, and there's 2 scorching holes in the wall, which kind of lead out into nothing, which spooky. Looking out at Chifley, who is on the floor in a woman's arms. He looks like a doc.
Can I just clarify something real quick?
Please
The
do.
the attack that Lau made with that crit, did Chif take that damage as well?
No. That was against the cocoon.
Okay, good. Because I was just doing some maths.
No,
okay.
no. I'm not brain deading you. I'm not brain deading you. No.
Appreciate
It's
it.
not happening.
Okay, thank you. Carry on.
You're welcome. Lau's gonna see Chifley is unconscious on the floor, and he'll look over at Doc and say, "What the fuck did you do?" And he's just gonna barge past you, Doc, down towards Chifley, and I'm gonna roll an innocent check. Wonderful. Thank you, Lau. You are incredibly helpful, mate. What's that? That's a 7. That's a 7. You're a medic. You should be good at this. He doesn't know what the hell is wrong with you. I mean, it seems clear that Chifley is not in a good way, but he doesn't fucking know why. He looks to the woman next to him and says, "Firstly, who are you and what's going on?" And she narrows her eyes and looks at Lau and says, "You don't have to worry about who I am. Just know that I want what's best for Chifley. And at the moment, that person is not good for my son." And Lau blinks and says, "Well, you just said he's your son, so I presume you're his mother. Wonderful." And turns around. "So I presume this is because of you."
Was that directed at the doc or for her?
Yes, I'm very sorry. That was directed at the doc. Turned towards Doc and said, "I presume this is because of you."
Well, let's see. Like points to one hole, points to the other hole, points to Chifley. Yeah, interesting. Well, the gun misfired on those two, but that one definitely hit her, but he took the damage.
Intelligence time. I was having a thinky. I was having a thinky. He is having a thought. Oh, he's had a thought. He's had an awful thought. He's looking around and he says, "Well, I don't. There should have been an. This is the cocoon, isn't it? So there should be an earworm in here, but there isn't a earworm." And then he stops. And he looks very slowly over towards the woman with red hair and the very nice dress, very humble dress, sitting next to Chifley. And he looks down at Chifley and then at her, and he just, "Oh, so it's you then." And the woman doesn't say anything. Just looks down at Chifley and strokes his head.
Lau could probably roll a history at this point.
I suppose he could. Meanwhile, Doc, oh my gosh. Yep, that's a 9. It was a 9.
I mean, it's not hugely horrible. Lau actually probably thinks he may have seen somebody who looks like this woman before. But he can't really pick where.
Interesting. Okay. He's just gonna furrow his brow. Be like, "I don't know exactly who you are. I presume you're a relative of some sort." And the woman's not gonna respond and just continue patting Chifley's hair. Doc? Chifley, I know you're not in a very good state at the moment, but you can roll an insight. Doc,
Okay.
I don't know what you want to do at the moment. Are you still taking notes? Are you having a look
Oh, yeah.
around?
Yeah, just taking dimensions. Like he's pulled out like a tape measure, is like measuring the inside of the room, seeing if it's consistent. Measuring it a few times just to see if it changes.
Excellent. Put a roll an investigation for me. See what you bring up.
Sure.
With a 17, Chifley, you feel the hand stroking your head is trembling, and you look up at this woman that you've been talking to since a while ago. You've had dreams about this woman appearing to you, and then you've had little, perhaps times where you've just spaced out and you've gone to your happy place and she's been there and she's been there for you to talk to and, get all this stress off your chest, even when she couldn't help you because, well, she's not physically there. She's been a great moral support for you, Chifley. She's been there for you and she's shaking and she's looking so sadly down at you now, and she looks so much like your mother, Chifley, but you've been trying to ignore certain aspects, perhaps. After all this, it's really, really hard to tell what's true right now. You're hot and you're cold and you're tired, and this woman looks like your mother and she's petting your head, and God, you really just want to sleep. You really just want to sleep, Chifley. Doc, 25 investigation. You're looking around the room. It's a very interesting place. Well, it's definitely inside the cocoon. And man, huh, from what you can tell and the history you know of about earworms, well, you look around and from what you've probably actually studied a physical earworm before. Um, this looks kind of different in terms of setup. It's no one's actually been inside of a head that has an earworm in it, so maybe the cocoon is a possible thing that they do, but it does seem kind of warped. Feels like it feels like something you have seen in a book before, but it was like a theory book. It was a weird history book. It was a history book that may not have even been accurate history because, that was quite a few erasures ago. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
things like Dalkia, that they're not, they're not around anymore. So this probably isn't related to that, probably. But man, you're looking at the magics of how this thing is put together, and it does seem a little bit similar to some of the other magical things that you've perhaps looked at that have been claimed to have been made by the people called Dalkia. It's very interesting.
Uh, huh. Me, the player, knowing a bit about the Delkir that I just looked up. Um, would it be safe to say that the doc has just been like getting like a little uneasy with all this?
Well, I suppose that'd be up to you, Breaks. Doc is your pal. Doc is your little buddy.
Hmm?
So,
Okay, well, it looks like this is gonna be another one to add into the mind flare list.
the woman twitches and turns her head around and glares at you, Doc. I am not one of them filthy mind flayers. Don't you dare call me one of them. I'm not like them. I'm not like them at all.
You
I
know, the
don't.
only things that could make you that angry would be family.
She takes a deep breath. She takes a deep breath. She sighs and I am not a mind flayer. I'm not a mind flayer.
Whoops! Chifley's dice is on the floor. Oh dear.
Whoop! He's dead!
He's lost his
God, he's
voice.
dead!
You dropped Chifley on the floor. I can't believe you've done
No!
this. You dropped your boy.
I was gonna roll something and now I lost my train of thought.
Oh no.
Um,
You dropped your tin pot as well.
yeah. I'm gonna roll a con save. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh dear. Okay.
Uh-oh.
That's a 4.
Wonderful.
Chif's
for?
Chif's watching this and like, yeah, he's always had that little shadow of a doubt in the back of his mind because like, look, no matter which way you slice it, his mother is dead. Like, he could excuse a couple of dreams here and there because he's been very stressed and gosh, he misses her a lot. But, like, a whip? That's weird. That's not even like a fever dream would make him put something hostile in his mother's hands. And also all of this about mind flayers. He's gonna, with that 4, he's in a bad way. He's gonna try and get up, and then when he can't, he's just gonna sort of lean on the coffee table a bit, and then I'm gonna roll him a hammer space. Where's my d10? There it is. Okay, that's not a 1. And he's gonna pull out his little wand, just a little blue stick, and he's just going to tap it against the coffee table a little bit, and he's gonna cast Zone of Truth.
Hey! This is where the laws come in. Alright, Whis save time, I
It's
believe.
charisma, actually. Charisma saving throw.
Ooh! Oh, joy! What the hell? I'm just gonna roll straight d20.
So is that everybody in the room?
Everybody, yes.
That's a 5. Well, hate to say it. Actually, love to say it. Ainsley Forde. Mm-hmm. She's she's in the zone.
Mm-hmm.
Lao. Lao, my friend. Charisma. What did your charisma save? Not bad actually. That's a 24.
Okay, Lau's
Uh,
fine. Lau can continue to be dishonest in his presence, and so can Doc Matter. Fantastic!
Wonderful.
You got who you wanted.
Yep.
I'll get locked.
So Chip's just sort of very heavily leaning on the coffee table, and he's just cast this spell, and then he just looks over at Ainslie, and is like, then what are you?
Gosh, Zone of Truth. Let me just look that up. I have got that spell as well.
On a failed save, creature cannot speak a deliberate lie while in the radius.
Okay. The woman hesitates. And she looks away and she says, I'm something that is here to help you, Chifley. That's all I want to do.
Chifley's just sort of looking at her, and like, you can, she can roll an insight if you want. Everybody can roll an insight on Chifley if they like.
Gosh. Lau, let's roll an insight. Yeah. Thought. By the way, is Doc still just standing up taking notes, or have they sat down yet?
I don't know, he's just still going around. There's probably two metal tentacles that are just taking measurements of the earworm behind her back. Just
Wow. Wow. You don't notice.
Fair enough. Okay, with the 14, is that for Lau or for Ainsley?
That's for Lau.
Okay.
That's for Lau. Ainsley, let's have a look.
Okay.
17.
Great. Okay, so both Lau and Ainsley, or she who we will call Ainsley for the sake of convenience, Jeff looks actually a bit hurt. Like something had been going on that he was leaning on it, and now he's doesn't feel like he can trust it anymore. And with the 17, Ainsley in particular goes like, there's that trust, that rapport that Chifley had with her because of the appearance she was using. That's broken.
Lau is sitting here, and he's gonna come up next to Chifley and just rest a hand on his shoulder very gently and glare at this woman. And continue on I don't know what you think diving into someone's head and giving them migraines and foggy heads and making them suffer like this. How exactly is that helping? And Ainsley replies, those are just side effects. I can't get rid of those. I would if I could, but I can't. It's just how we work.
What are you supposed to be helping me with?
Why?
Did
you say why or
what? Yeah.
Oh. She hesitates a second, and I'm here to here to help. I'm here to help in general. And come on, insight.
Come on.
Insight.
Lauren, don't let me down this time, Chif. Come on. Yeah, boy. That's more like it. 23.
Wonderful. And now 17. Cool, okay. 23. There was definitely something prodding her to say something else, but she seemed to swerve that track before it quite got out. And Lau just narrows his eyes suspiciously, and he's just gonna sort of sit by and look at you, Chifley, and he's gonna leave this mostly up to you. I think he's gonna convey you with a look. Just this is your rodeo, but he'll be here if you need him.
Chip's definitely conflicted. Like, he's hurt, he's upset, he's in a lot of pain, and he's tired. And he's hot and cold at the same time. But like, he just sort of looks at Ainslie and it's like, I appreciate the effort, but all this time I've been talking to you, and you've been wearing her face. That's not helping. That's not fair.
This woman leans forward and she braces her hands on her knees and she looks pleading. She looks desperate. She says, "It was helping though, Chifley. It was helping before they came in and ruined everything. It was helping you. It was someone you could lean on and support and help you. I just want to know about you, Chifley. I just want to learn about you. And I care about you. I care about you. And doesn't matter what face I'm wearing, Chifley.
It does.
I just want you."
It does matter. I
Do you want to know?
don't talk to everyone the way that I used to talk to her. My mother is dead. You're not
Yes.
her. You took advantage of me.
This woman wearing your mother's face leans back, her face crumpled as she continues on. I took her face. I took her image because it was someone that you loved. It's someone you hold so dear to yourself, and if I could look like her, if I could remember what you remembered and treat you the way she did, you would have someone, Chifley, someone to help you, someone to lean on, someone that wouldn't hurt you. And kind of glares at Lau, and then over a dog matter, who's probably taking note of the strange way the frost is kind of interacting with the fire right now, because neither of these things seem to be like putting the other out. They just seem to be like creeping over each other. Like first it's fire, and then it's ice, and then it's fire, and then it's ice. Very strange effect. Not neat. Very
I was
interesting.
like, just like poking at the walls too, at various, seeing if there's any reaction from the earworm.
The earworm doesn't twitch, but Chifley, you feel like something is poking the inside of your head. You feel like someone is taking a finger point and just jabbing it into your temple.
Well, that's not improving his mood any.
No! But this woman's gonna narrow her eyes and glare at you, Doc, and say, "Would you mind stop actually poking it and sit down?
Huh?
You're causing him pain."
Fine. Hey, officer. Officer. Hey, could you? Yeah, come on out. Like, a little whirligig thing comes flying out of his inventory and starts
Officer. Oh,
Officer.
I love Officer. Officer is adorable. I remember when you first made them. Oh, they're lovely. I hold them so softly. Beautiful babies.
Takes out like a mug, gets a mug of coffee, and just sits down and sips.
Nice.
I adore this.
Excellent.
Okay.
We adore Break's art and Break's characters so much. I hope Break's not something. Oh gosh. Dark Matter's here to watch the drama, I guess. Because you can't take notes, I guess.
Hmm. There's just a very much an air of, okay, this is like psychiatry is not his field.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could add it to your list of PhDs. You can write a paper about this, probably. I don't
Eh,
know.
it doesn't have a lot of tie-ins to the mind, but domestic drama.
More domestic
Not as
drama.
aesthetic.
Mm.
Nah.
Alright.
But it is something to add to the rap sheet, you know?
Hmm.
Add it to your list of PhDs, maybe. Yes. What was I saying? I completely forgot. You were poking around Chifley's mind cocoon. Ainsley was, yeah, yes, Ainsley. She, uh, she kind of slumps as she continues on saying, I know that maybe I'm not exactly like her, Chifley. I'm trying really hard because I, the more I learned about you, Chifley, the more I knew you were someone that we needed to look after. You didn't, you don't deserve half the things that happened to you, Chifley, and I just want you to be okay.
Chip's gonna sort of draw in a deep breath, and he's actually gonna glance at Lau for a second, and then look back at her. I didn't know, but I didn't ask for these headaches. It's it's been nice having someone to talk to, but it's not at the expense of what it's doing to the rest of my life. I can't sleep, I can't eat, I can't work. If I can't work, I can't look after Missy. I can't do the things that I need to do. And there's this pause as he sort of brings in this really harsh breath that sort of sounds like his throat's closing up slightly.
Lau? Lau's gonna squinch his eyes together, and one of the curls on the side of his head is just gonna thump, thump, thump. Then he's gonna look between Ainsley and look between Chifley. He's just gonna very slowly reach out a hand and pause. Look back at Ainsley, gives her a look. He's just very gently gonna rest his hand on your shoulder, and he's gonna cast Cure Wounds. Man, let's see. That
Cure
is
wounds
a
directly to
D8
the
plus
brain.
spell. Huh?
Cure wounds directly to the brain.
Yes. Only good vibes in this house. A D8 plus spellcast ability. So D8 plus 6. Okay. A 9. Chiefly, you get 9. You feel the hot and cold sensation kind of ease, and as Lau casts this spell, Doc, you're probably absentmindedly looking around the room because, family drama, and you see the holes in this room start to close, and the fire and the ice the fire goes out, and the ice starts to recede back outside and slowly seep away as it seems like the wood panels grow back into the house.
Oh, splendid. Chip's back at full, by the way.
Beautiful. The house returns back to being just a normal house. And yeah, Ainsley sighs in clear relief at that and rubs her wrist and looks down and she grits her teeth. I know it's gosh. I just want what was best for you, Chifley. And she leans her head down and puts her head in her hands. And as she does so, Lau I'm sorry to interrupt this, but I do have a pertinent question, or at least I feel it's a pertinent question. Ainsley looks up and says, What? Well, what do you mean by we want to take care of you? And Ainsley Forde freezes up and looks away and covers her mouth, and her brows go down. She takes a breath in, it out. She looks back at Lau and Chifley and says nothing.
Technically within the bounds of the spell, I guess.
Technically. But Lau is going to look between Doc and Chifley, and he's going to look definitely at Chifley and say, Chifley, this is your mind, so it's up to you what you want to do. You want her out. You want us to take her out.
Jeff looks conflicted, but like I'm gonna roll him another con, see how he's doing. Like, I mean, he's on full health, but like he is still kind of under the effects of this thing. So
yes, fair.
Okay, that's a 10, so that's better than before. Yeah, so he's gonna fully pull himself up now. Like, he still looks like he's struggling, but he's gonna go over to Ainslie and just kneel down in front of where she's sitting. Thank you for talking with me, but this can't keep going.
This woman looks back at you, the woman wearing your mother's face, Chifley, the woman you've been telling secrets to, who you've been venting to, who's comforted you, who's giving you the shittiest dumplings you've ever eaten. They taste just like you remember. She looks at you and she reaches out a hand as if to cup your face and then freezes. Pulls her hand away, back into her lap, clenches them together and takes a deep breath. If what you want is to have me gone, Chifley, then I'll accept that. I'll accept your decision because And she starts to cheer up again, and her throat starts to choke up as she just manages to sputter out. Because I love you, and I may not be your mom, but... And she reaches up and just scrubs at an eye. I may not be your real mom, but if this is how she felt, then... Gosh! If this is even a fraction of what she felt for you, Chifley, she must have been a wonderful mother. And she looks like she wants to reach out, but she's keeping her distance.
Jeff's going to let her cry a little bit before reaching a hand out and just patting her leg the way that he always has comforted his mother, and then pull his hand back. If you wanted to talk, being in my mind isn't the place for it.
She nods and sighs and says, whatever you want to decide to do, Chifley, you do that, okay? Do what's best for you. That's what I want. That's what I want. And she reaches out and squeezes your hand. I said I wouldn't let anyone take you away from me, that I would protect you, that we would always be together. But if you don't want that, then that's not an option for me. And you can roll me an insight. Beautiful, thank you. Meanwhile, Doc, while this is happening, Lau is kind of moved over to you, still keeping an eye on these two, and is just leaning in and saying, "So, Doc, matter, is it?
Yeah, what?
So, I don't exactly know how you plan to take her out, but I presume you do have a plan."
Oh, yeah.
And he's just gonna blink, blink, look at you, expectantly.
Nothing else is forthcoming.
Wonderful.
Like that, like he realizes you're still looking at him, and then it's like pulls out another mug, coughs or pours a cup, and offers it to you.
You know, he raises a finger up and his eyes narrow and his beak opens and his outline has gone a little bit spiky and then he pauses and he lowers his finger. He shuts his beak and the outline just smooths out and is like, "You know what? Yeah, no, it's this kind of fucking day." And he just reaches out, and takes the mug, and he just takes a sip, keeps an eye on these two having a moment,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah,
Yep.
that's just happening back down. Meanwhile, cut back to the original room. Zoc and Lau are having a good coffee break. Wonderful. Meanwhile, um, yeah. So, Ainsley, the woman who claims to be Ainsley Forde wearing her face. The woman who is not Ainsley Forde is gonna go with whatever you decide, Chifley. She can stay or she can go. It's up to you.
Yeah, he's kind of ultimate. Like he's gonna and ah about it a little bit, but then he will stand back up, still looking a little bit wobbly. But then he'll look around the room, and then I locked this house up years ago. It's time to lock it up again.
Your mother, your not mother, gives a tired smile, and she's crying. She's not bothering to wipe her eyes anymore. It's time. It's time for her to go. And she slaps her knees and claps her hands together and says, "Well, there's no use crying about this, I suppose. Right? All right. Let's close up shop then. Let's go then." And she slowly gets up, reaches out a hand to pull you up, Chifley.
He'll take it. Like he's knows this isn't his mum. It's really hard not to have those automatic reactions with her looking like she is. And you know, as long as whatever this is kind of goes away, he doesn't have any ill will. Like there's no bad blood here. It's like, okay, yes, you were causing me horrible migraines and ruining my life on the outside of my brain, but like you weren't being malicious, I think, given as you're under the zone of truth spells.
Fair enough. She's gonna keep a hold of your hand and give it a quick squeeze, but she's gonna keep a loose hold. You can pull your hand away if she wants. And then she's just gonna slowly make the rounds and close up the house. She's gonna close all the doors, go upstairs with you and close her door. She's gonna close her husband's door. She's gonna close Cassie's. No, Missy's door.
Wrong relative.
Cassie's your cousin. Cassie's a different one. Don't worry about that one. Cassie does not have a door in here. And then she's gonna get to your door, Chifley, and she's gonna pause and look at you, and she's going to gesture inside and say, "Before I go, if there's anything in there you that you want, you might want to take it with you on the way out."
He's gonna cock his head to the side a little bit, but he will step in and have a look around.
Chifley, you step in and you look around, and this is your childhood bedroom. And your bed, your bed has two little surprises on it. Two familiar surprises.
Oh dear. Oh,
Mm,
I think I know what those are.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, he's gonna go
Uh,
over and he'll actually pick them up and look them over very fondly.
you pick these two things up, and Chifley, you recognize these. Your mother made these for you a long time ago, and well, one of them was one of them was given away, and well, you don't quite remember what happened to the other one. You do, but you don't.
Mm.
But they're here now. The two dolls that your mother knitted for you and for Missy back in your hands again. And your not mother leans against the doorway and smiles a tired smile. One you probably recognize closer to the end, when she was starting to get more tired, and when she had to take more breaks and had to sit down for a little longer, Chifley, when she couldn't play with Missy as well because she just wasn't feeling very well today. Chifley, could you look after your sister for me, sweetheart?
Mm.
And she's leaning against the door and she's smiling at you and she says, "Is it just those two? Because if there is anything else, if there's anything else, Chifley, I think we can close up shop."
Yeah, I think so too. And yeah, he's just gonna stash those in his hammer space, and then he's gonna leave the room and close the door.
You leave the room, you close the door, and you look around, and other doors have vanished. And if you turn around, Chifley, your door is still there. The other doors have vanished. Meanwhile, funny thing, Ralph's just seen this woman gently pull you away from the wrist, and I have got to roll a little whiz save for him, which is a wonderful, beautiful 10. That was a 10. Ignore the 16. The 16. Um, it is a 10. It's a 10. And he looks down the hallway of this house and then looks back at you, Doc, and looks at his coffee, looks at you. "Do you think we should leave him alone with her? I don't think that's a good idea."
Well, I'm gonna make sure that Bridget can finish off cutting the ties of the cocoon to everything else. You know him better than I do. You stick with him.
And Al just puts his head, nods, and says, well, for whatever we need to do to take her out, I suppose I'll give you a quick shout, and
Okay.
you can sort that out then. Enjoy severing the cocoon, I suppose. Don't
Oh yeah.
touch anything else.
Fine.
Doc, no, listen to me. You came here to help me with this. If I hear that you've been poking around at things other than the cocoon, I'm going to be very upset with you, and I'm going to have a long fucking talk. You're here for the cocoon. You're not here for anything else. And actually, you know what? You know what? He hesitates, and God, he hates that he's going to say this, but he is going to say this. "You know what, Doc? I know you're a man of the mind. However, I will offer you a proposition. If you're interested, you leave Chifley's brain alone." And he clenches his fists and hesitates, sighs. "I will tell you, I will give you my medical records. And you can study those and ask me as many questions to your heart's content if you leave Chifley's brain alone."
Doc stops at this and puts a one besleeved hand up to where his chin would be, and squints when you allow.
Okay.
Well, there is a certain level of messing with his brain that I'm gonna have to do to get her out. But other than that, deal.
Lau holds that hand shake.
Mm-hmm. Little pixel sprite shake.
Yep. Just gonna roll this for fun. Why
Mm-hmm.
not? The 5?
Fuck.
It's got a very limp wrist. This is the
Let's see how
limpest
Doc
fucking hand
does.
takes.
Oh, I'm gonna wait. Let's see. Did you just do like a strength check?
Yep. He's got no mod. No, wait, that's a minus. That's a -1. It's a 4. He's so limp. This man has a limpy wrist. I mean, his hand when he reaches out, you squeeze it, and you notice, you didn't notice this before, but this man has a very strange outline. It's very malleable. In fact, you look at your
Yeah.
hand, and
Yeah. Doc rolled a 16 on the strength check.
Oof.
Um.
yeah,
You get yeah. His Lau's line art is a little mangled when.
Lau's hand pulls back, and there's black dust on your hands. As Lau looks back at his hand, he's like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" And he just, you know what? I'll sort this when I get out. I'm not doing this inside Chifley's head. That just feels weird. And he just turns around, goes a hand over his shoulder, and say, "You sort out frigid, whoever it is, and I'll get Chifley and the other thing." And he's gonna make his way down the corridor.
Okay.
And leave you to
And
it.
Doc slides out the door.
Beautiful. And I'm gonna roll a stealth.
There's a doc loose in my character's brain.
Yep.
As a dog loose in my chippy cord. You left him unsupervised. Why did you do this now? Always very sensible. But anyhow, yeah. Lau rolled a 6 on his stealth. Chifley, you and not Ainslie round the corner, and you see Lau just. Actually, you know what? Let's roll this. Oh, that's beautiful! Thank you, Lau. Thank you so much. There are times when I just hate when he rolls shitty, and then I love it when he rolls shitty. That's another 6.
Oh.
2 sixes. He got a 6 on his stealth, and then he got a 6 on his deception. And you just see him very kind of. You see like the point of a beak pointing around the corner, and it points back around. And as you point around the corner, you just hear a very, very bird song. Lau's just tapping his hands against the side of his armrests and just looking around, and then he's like, "Oh, right, I suppose you're done then." Yeah, nah, he wasn't eavesdropping, nah, not him, never, he would never. But he does. He just claps his hands and looks between you two and says, "Right, are you both ready to go then?"
Chifley's gonna smile at Lau and then glance at Ainslie and give her a little bit of a smile before walking back over towards Lau.
Lau kind of like grips you. Actually, Ainsley squeezes your hand before letting you go, and Lau reaches out and looks at the hand that was being held, and he looks back at you, and then he just very slowly reaches out, takes that hand and gives it a quick squeeze before letting go and saying, Are you ready then?"
Chifley nods. Yeah, I'm ready to put this to bed.
That's rather apt. And then he turns around and gestures for you to head to the doorway, Chifley.
And he's gonna.
And Lau follows after. And you're almost to the door. Your hand is reaching out. The door is open, and your hand is reaching out to probably just close it behind you. And you hear, "Wait, Chifley, please, just one last thing. I swear, just one last thing." And you hear the as she taps over to you, and just holds the handle very quickly. She puts her fingers in the door, and she just, "One last thing. Just, can I ask you just one last thing? I swear, nothing else. Just one thing."
Okay. One last thing.
Can I She hesitates. She swallows. Can I get a hug? A last hug?
Let me do a whiz save.
I mean, how big is that zone of truth, by the way?
I mean, it's technically a 15-foot radius sphere.
Ah, fair.
But like,
you can roll insight.
he cast it in his brain though. like, like.
What the fuck are the boundaries in your brain? What's 15 foot in your head?
Okay, I'll roll
your head isn't 15 foot long.
No.
So, but yeah, you can roll an insight with advantage if you want.
Oh, I don't need it. I don't need it. That's fine. It's a 26.
Wow.
Nearly a 20. Close.
You're looking at the expression on this woman's face, and you are very tired, Chifley. You're done. You want to be done, but look up, and she seems genuine. There's no malice. There's no hidden agenda here. There's no haha secretly gonna yoink you away kind of deal. She genuinely just wants a hug. There's a crease of desperation in the corner of her eye. She reaches out that you don't think you've seen on your mother's face before.
Yep. He doesn't like that. But he's going to let go of the door handle and he'll step just back inside the house and put his hands out.
She's gonna just step into your arms and hopefully she's gonna give you a hug. She's gonna hug you like your mum used to. She's just give you a hug, quick squeeze, and hey, is Doc still like just out and about doing other weird things, taking out all the threads, or would Doc be? Would you say Doc would be near the front door at the moment?
Probably just directing Bridget to around the front door, just waiting for the rest of them to come out.
All right, cool. Could you roll me a quick perception? I'm gonna roll one for Lau, and Chifley, you can roll one too.
Okay.
Oh my word, Lau! Lau! What have you been rolling like today? Man!
That's not so great, but that tracks, I guess.
That's a 2.
That's a 2. I pointed my dog. That's a 2. I got a whole 2, fellas.
That's a 2. He's paying attention to other things.
Doc, again, family drama, not interested. Chifley, you can roll with advantage, please.
Alright,
because you are very close. Lau got a fucking nat 20. Why on this? Whole thing. Also, it's kind of hilarious that he did get this. But yeah, you can roll with advantage if you want to do that again.
Okay.
Because Chifley, you're right there. You should
Yeah.
see this.
Nah. I even did that a couple of times just to see, and everything was under a 5 on the dice, so...
Okay.
So the 12 is the best one of the lot.
Okay. So you're not gonna. I guess this makes sense because your chin is over her shoulder, and it's gonna take you a while to notice this. But I think it's Lau's. What the actual fuck? That as you pull away and Chifley, you're looking at your mother. Not looking at you. And you're wearing the same clothes that you wore today. You're wearing your scarf, wearing your jacket, you're wearing your old boots, and you're smiling at yourself, Chifley. And you see your hand lift up, a shy little wave and an awkward smile, and Chifley is going to say to Chifley, Thanks for having me, Chifley. I guess this is goodbye. And the door, unless you want to do something, Chifley, the door's gonna close.
Nope, he's just gonna sort of stand there and be like, what?
Well, the door closes. And as the door closes, Doc, you're gonna see this because you've been working on this. You're gonna see the threads start to just snap, crack, flicker, snicker away from the insides of Chifley's mind, and it's just gonna crumble and kind of crumble in on itself. And Doc, you've been inside someone's mind before. You recognize this sign? You should maybe get the fuck out of Dodge.
Yep. All right. All right, you two, come on. And you know how Doc just puts down the controller, takes the controller from Lau, takes the helmet off of Chifley.
I'm gonna roll a Whis save. Oh boy. Okay. So Lau thinks a couple of times. You take the controller from his hands. And he looks at his hands and looks at the screen. Looks at his hands. He was like, "I wasn't actually in there." He's gonna hand to his forehead like, I felt like I was inside his head. What? What?
I'm gonna roll a con for Chifley.
Okay.
No.
What did you get?
Yes.
Oh.
That was a nat one!
I'm
So
fucking dying.
so is Chifley apparently.
No.
So what does that mean? What does a nat 1 mean for Chifley? Does he just faint?
So, I have an idea unless Whis has an idea.
I mean, I'm gonna like your idea, but I was just gonna say that he looks like he's about to puke if he rolled low, but with a nat 1, he probably is about to throw up.
Okay, cool. And this makes sense because Chifley, as you kind of have the helmet taken off of you, you hear something in your head, Chifley, and you hear the sound of crying and weeping, and it sounds like your mother, and she sounds so fucking sad, Chifley. God, you haven't heard us cry like this. You've never heard her cry like this, and it evolves from your mother to something inhuman, something not right. That's not right, and it's just screaming in
May
your head,
I
Chifley.
interject?
Yes, please
As
do.
Doctor approaches Chifley, seeing that Chifley's in, not doing so hot.
Huh?
Could I ask Chifley, through all this, what is Chifley's favorite scent?
Scent. It's probably a, something of an umami kind of smell, like if you go into a dumpling house.
Ooh, okay. Chifley gets a strong scent of that as one of the tentacles comes up over into Chifley's face and poofs a bit of purple glittery smoke into your face. And the sounds within your brain become muffled as you feel like a rising achoo!
No!
And
No!
suddenly, your brain, suddenly, you, Chifley, your body, has gone down to, like, say, like a 4 for intelligence, as your brain is now outside your body.
Oh my
Carefully and expertly caught by one of the tentacles of Dr. Matter, who, with the other tentacle, the 3 little pincers on the end fold in, and a little tweezer component folds out of the end of the tentacle, digs into the inner portion of Chifley's head, and attempts to remove the cocoon.
Roll me a sleight of hand, please. Whilst you're doing this, Lau is just fucking freaking No, I'm rolling a Whis save. I'm rolling a Whis save with disadvantage.
Okay, that is a 16 for the sleight of hand.
I'm aghast at him. He has rolled a 20 fucking 4, not a 26, a 24. It's 18 twice.
It's hot the bird.
Now is blinking. His hands are pressed together. Well, I'm in the gallery. Hi, gallery. I'm sorry. I'm moving out there. I love you all. Farewell. Pay no attention to what happens in the gallery.
Okay, so does the sleight of hand? Can the doc safely procure the cocoon?
The 16, it takes a bit of rummaging. Like, you kind of, like, accidentally maybe, like, poke a wall at some point, and Chippy's body just kind of twitches and draws a little bit. But it's fine. You do gently get your pincers and then
sack.
What? I'm sorry, Bryce. Could you repeat that?
Have you ever played Psychonauts?
No, I have.
Whenever there is a dentist in that game who debrains kids, and the bodies walk around like zombies, generally saying hacky sack. So
I remember the TV. I don't remember them saying hacky sack, and I'm dying.
There's definitely a hacky sack in there.
That's fucking beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. Okay, I guess Chifley says hacky sack.
Okay, but eventually the cocoon is retrieved.
No, you get the cocoon out. It's fine.
Okay,
You get the cocoon out.
Okay. Yeah. He takes like from his like hammer space like a jar of like green bubbly fluid and then just kind of dunks the brain in there a few times. Just to to defrost it.
Rinse it out.
Rinse it up in Mountain Dew.
Give it a bit of a wax. Give it a buff.
Yep. Polishes it up so it's nice and shiny. And then with a shoop and a boop, puts it right back into Chifley. All right.
Chifley, you suddenly remember all your thoughts and feelings. You had a bit of a disconnect there. You don't know what happened, but boy howdy. It was loud, and then it got quiet, and then what's happened? Oh, you're back. Oh, yep. You're fine. Lau, meanwhile, has been watching all of this, and he's just, you know what? I'm gonna roll this. Yeah, okay. He's fine. He's fine. He's fine. He's gonna just go over a dock and blink very emphatically and say, you said you had a method of extracting the cocoon. Righto. Why did you not mention it would also remove the fucking brain? And he just slaps a hand down on the fucking cot that Chifley is on, and he's glaring daggers at you.
Just because I think it's funny, I'm gonna have
Okay.
when Lau yells that, slamming her hand down on the cot, Chifley is going to jump and fall off the cot in the opposite direction with a loud onto the floor.
Yeah. I was gonna wince at that and peek over the. No, you know what? He's not tall enough. He's gonna peek underneath the cot and where Chippy's on the floor, and he's just gonna. Chifley, are you alright? I didn't mean to startle you. I'm just very pissed off at the minute. And he pointedly doesn't look at Doc. Because someone didn't inform their patients with proper consent of what exactly they were going to be doing.
Chifley's a bit dazed. He doesn't respond.
Oh, fucking wonderful. If you don't respond, his eyes are just gonna narrow, and he's gonna barge Doc out of the way and say, now, don't know what exactly you're going to do with that. And he points at the cocoon that is still in your little pinchy claws. And he just I don't know if you want to keep that. I don't know what you want to do with it, but whatever it is, just you can study it all you like. Just keep it away from Chifley Forde.
All right. Don't have to tell me twice. Just pops it into like a vial and puts a cork on it, puts it in the hammer space.
I was just gonna like reach a hand down and check Chifley over, make sure that you're all right. Chifley, can you stand? I think we're quite done here. This shouldn't be an issue for you anymore, I believe. And you just reaches down to try and get Chifley to stand up.
I'm just gonna roll another con because I like doing that.
Gosh.
Okay. So that was a 2. He's gonna get up. He's gonna not be able to get up very easily, but I think if I was helping him.
I'm gonna roll a strength save. Oh, beautiful. Oh, beautiful. Lau, I love you. I love you. This is where the comedy comes in because that's an unnatural one. Lau reaches down to help up Chifley. Chifley reaches out and Lau immediately tits over ass falls out the chair. Onto the floor. Welcome to the floor club, Lau. It's cozy down here. Breaks both your one of your patients and their I guess accompanied friends, emotional support are on the floor. They're on the floor.
Well, this is not the first time this has happened. Let's see. I think Doc very satisfiedly finishes writing out a script, rips it off of like the paper, hands it down, and just kind of tucks it gently into like Chifley's, like one of Chifley's hands, and just kind of pats it in there. Before the tentacles reach out, grab both of them, puts Lau back in the wheelchair, grabs the wheelchair, and then just kind of like just wheels you guys back on out into the lobby. Sets you on like a right before like the tunnel. All right. Well, it's been a very informative afternoon. The script should help with helping your brain rehabilitate after all the freezing and fire and trauma. Yeah. Anyway, it's been horrible. Bye. It presses like a button on the wall, and like the there's like a springboard below you that shunts you back up the tunnel, back up into the little midnight zone, and the trapdoor goes click, and you land perfectly in front of the door where you started.
I was gonna just blink slowly and then look down, and then he's gonna cup his hands around his beak and he's going to holler. He's gonna cast Thaumaturgy on himself and make himself very, very loud, and he's just gonna yell at the ground, "I'll send you those documents later!" And turns towards
another little trapdoor opens in the side of the building, and there's like a little glove that pops up and like a little thumbs up and then retracts.
Beautiful. Al just nods, blinks, just like, okay, fine. Chifley, do you need me to push you home? Today's been a fucking day.
Chifley is sort of half pushing himself up on the stairs to try and be vertical because he's had a bit of a horizontal kind of moment.
Fucking god. Lau's gonna glare at you. Chifley, do I need to put you in this fucking... I will put you in this fucking chair, Chifley Forde, if you fall down those stairs, I swear to fucking god. I'm not joking. I will put you in here. Don't think I won't. And,
You don't have to roll an insight. Just like the last time you threatened him like that, he starts laughing. But it's almost louder than the last time.
I was just gonna fucking... His eyes just gonna narrow and he's gonna say, "Don't fucking I'm being serious, Chifley Forde. I will put you in this fucking chair and I will wheel you home myself. I will hobble home on my walking stick and you will sit in that fucking chair and take a goddamn nap." And he's just gonna try and get up the stairs because spider climber is no longer working for him. I'm gonna roll dex thing. Okay. 16. Lau may have been used to actually going upstairs for quite a bit. And then does manage through some wheelie trickery to get up the stairs, sits himself down, turns towards Chifley and says, I don't know about you, Chifley, but I could go for a drink. Do you want to get a drink? I need a drink. And he's gonna walk at your speed, Chifley, but yep.
Chifley's going to give Lau a smile as he says that. Say, I think that sounds great. Maybe 2 drinks.
Obviously, I need you to actually eat and drink something. I mean, properly eat and have some water before we do that, because I'm not getting you drunk like this, for goodness sake. And he's just gonna grab you by the side of your sleeve and tug you and say, come on, I'll find the nearest pub and we'll get a little pissed then. And he's just toddles away with you. And
They're off for some age-appropriate drinks! Hooray!
And we come to close the scene as they walk away. Lau rolls and Chifley stumbles merrily on, hand probably leaning on support of one of Lau's handles on the back of the chair.
Yeah.
And then we flash back down to the lab. Matter. Hey buddy, you've successfully gotten a wonderful little airworm. Congratulations. Could you do me a favor? Could you roll me another investigation or history for me?
Let's see. Well, they're both the same. That'd be a 25 for an investigation.
Dang. Wonderful. You look at this, you look at the cocoon and you very carefully pry it open and look at the thing inside and oh my fucking god. Fuck. Matter, you've seen physical descriptions and actual, like, sketches of earworms. Look at this thing, and this does not look like a normal earworm. Normal earworms look like worms. This thing's got roots on one end, like weird little tendrils coming out of it, and then it does resemble a worm of some sort as it starts to grow in length. But then on the other end, Doc, there's a strange bulbous head. And you look at it and you squint and, that kind of looks like a flower bud? That's really weird. That's really weird. That's not what an earworm looks like. It certainly acted like an earworm.
Well, let's see what to do about this. Well, you look like a flower. You got roots like a flower. I know I got a spare flower pot around here somewhere. And he just fills up a flower pot with dirt, sprinkles it with a little bit of brain juice, and plants this weird thing in it.
Top 10 bad ideas, but okay.
And we close our FPS on Doc walking away after having potted this thing, giving it a little bit of brain juice, and just sitting it in that pot. And as we fade out, slowly to black, you see the bud that was kind of drooping down a little sadly. Just very slightly. That's where we're going to end this. We're going to end this.
Oh.
Gosh, we've done for such a long time. I thank you both so much for putting up with this length of time for an FPS. But
it was 3 hours of absolute delight. I love Lau. I love Doc. It's so good.
I like that.
Doc was fantastic. Breaks, thank you so much for popping in. Thank you so much. You were an absolute delight. And Whis,
it's been a delight to be able to play with you guys.
We might get to do it again, depending on what happens with that.
Want another one? Would you like some more? Yes, also, Whis, thank you for letting me bully Chifley. That was
anytime. Anytime.
Live. This was very good. Thank you, everyone listening. Thank you, everyone listening now, everyone listening in the future. And I hope everyone has a good time, does a good bit of self-care, And we'll see you around maybe in this
Enjoy your time
combination.
zones. Toodaloo!
Happy
Bye.
to. Bye.